Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, everyone. How is Friday going?
Hey, it is fantastic and fabulous. As always, I won't say always, let me change that. As of today, I am traveling, enjoying family, taking a minute during this busy Medicare season, this busy insurance season, out to take just a moment to share with family and friends. So I'm in Massachusetts this week, and it's so good to see each and every one of you. We are on the show together today. Hey, everybody.
I know it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
The Fab Four. Absolutely, absolutely. So, Anthony, what's been going on in your life?
A lot of traveling, but I just came back from vacation. I'm nice and rested, and what else can I say, man? I had a ball.
Wonderful.
I went horseback riding.
I saw that.
You saw the pictures? I was on a Clydesdale, and that thing was huge, and it's only a baby. It's only 4 years old.
Was that your
No,
first
it's a
time? Do you
youngster.
ride horses?
No, that was my first time solo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I enjoy horseback riding. I don't get to do it as often, but I do enjoy it. And I'm not a real big animal person, right, Tanya? But
No, not
I
at all.
enjoy horseback riding. It's a lot of fun. I think I just kind of like to do things that allow the breeze to go through my head, and and I get to think. So I think that's why I'm been a convertible girl, right? I just like the wind in my hair. So,
Okay.
so wonderful. So Flo, tell us about what you've been doing this past week.
Traveling. And my husband owns a horse. I bought him one for his Father's Day 3 years ago. He used to have 4 horses. They all passed. He was sad around the house. I said, let me go ahead and buy him another horse.
Let's get this man a horse.
I'm his second love. But hey, guys, it's great to be here. This is Mad Flo in the house. I ain't crazy, but I am mad about making a difference for life of others through financial literacy. So that's what we're here today for. Enjoying every minute of being with you guys today. The four of us together, like glue. Glad to be
That's
here.
right. That is absolutely right.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely. We've been celebrating. You guys know
Mhm.
that Tanya had a birthday earlier this
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Yeah, so you guys
Yeah.
know we were just out all over the place, celebrating birthday. That's what we do. We were able to put in a surprise for Tanya, and which is hard to do, but we actually pulled off a pre-birthday, get together for some really good friends, and it was just a fun time had. So again, happy birthday, Tanya.
Thank
Continue
you.
to live life like there is no
Live
tomorrow.
it to the fullest.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this brings us to, we have a great show today. You guys know that last week's show was about breast cancer awareness, and
Mhm.
we must tell you guys that was an incredible show. Things happen organically. We had great guests on the show, and it was just a wonderful. Not only was it an educating show, but just listening to our guest story, and hearing how it had impacted her, how breast cancer impacts lives, but the other side of that for survivors, we had a guest on who talked about pampering those people and what her foundation does. And that was incredible. And in the show, during the moment, someone gifted our guest
A,
the
a trip. It was
yes.
like they do a retreat, and the
Right.
retreat pampers the guest to from just getting to the property, and just everything from head to toe, waiting on them hand and foot, uh, also working with them mentally, physically, and spiritually. The retreat is something that they do with about 20 people or more. The organization has been around for a few years, and when she gifted Barbara Hurd, that was her name. And when she gifted her, I think Barbara went into tears, and so many people after that. So after the fact, you guys, what ended up happening is that so many people wanted to pay for the trip for Barbara, even though the lady gifted her. So Barbara is now putting together all of the funds that people wanted to give her to gift someone else.
Oh,
It is just
that's
amazing
sweet.
what is happening after the show. It man, it brought people to tears, and we had so many comments, and everybody was just so excited on last week. So we have an awesome show planned today. We are going to be in joint talking about breast cancer awareness. We should call it now what, breast health, along with domestic violence. That's what this month is all about. And we want to bring this to the forefront of people's minds, because there is still a disparity in the African American community and African American women. And so today we have Shay Smith. I'm going to bring Shay in. Good afternoon. You're on mute.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Shay. Hi, Shay. And
Hi. Hi.
before we start to ask you so many questions, before we came on air, we were talking about all of your credentials and
Yeah.
who you are and what you do. So, in introducing you, we want to let everybody know that you are a breast imaging specialist
That's correct.
and who has come to us from, and we always thank you guys for all that you do at Curtis Cooper Primary Health
Yes.
Center. You guys have been just an awesome resource for our community and what you do for our community and what you do and how you make it affordable
Yes.
for our community. So, we have here your credentials. We had to talk about it several times. You are a registered technologist in radiology, mammography, and breast sonography.
Yes.
So that's a mouthful.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And then I guess in your spare time, you're an associate professor at Georgia Southern.
Yes. In
So
radiology.
Shay,
Yes.
welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit, about what you do. We know that, and I'm sorry, something just fell. We know that, this is National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Our guest last week said, let's talk about breast health. And we know that in the US, this affects over 250,000 women each year. And men also are affected by breast cancer. But research has shown that 1 out of every 100 breast cancers diagnoses are in men. So talk to us a little bit about that, and then we can go into what you do there.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for the invitation to come on your platform and speak to your audience about a very important subject in breast health. I've had an opportunity to serve our community, Chatham County, surrounding areas, for over 14 years in mammography. And it is truly, I don't consider it a job, I consider it a calling. It pulled towards me, and it's something that I just cannot let go, and I'm still here, along with many others, many others, creating advocacy, being that advocate for our patients, making sure that they are seen, making sure that they are heard, making sure that they're not ignored, and just making them feel comfortable. And where I want to start with mammography, if you don't mind, is that I just want to put this thought in your mind that 10 minutes, a 10-minute exam can save your life. I see it each and every day. Just 10 minutes, ladies, 10 minutes. It takes longer to put on your makeup. It takes longer to get your hair done. It takes longer to get your nails done. Just a 10-minute quick exam will save your life. Also with mammography, early detection saves lives. So what that means is if it's caught early, it's not a death sentence. And that's the good news. I want to be positive about this thing. Back in the day when you got that diagnosis of breast cancer, it doesn't mean that, back in the day it meant that you would probably lose your breast or, eventually die. But science has improved significantly. And I've seen ladies with different stages of life after the diagnosis just living their best life, And I just want to create a positive conversation that if you do have the diagnosis, it does not mean death. Chances are you will have a very, very positive prognosis. Okay.
And you're talking about early detection. So it's, and why that is important, so let's talk a little bit more about that. So you're saying it's easy to get it done. It's a 10-minute, and you're saying, hey, ladies, it's 10 minutes. We spend 10 minutes doing so many other things, right? We spend 10 minutes, scrolling through Facebook,
Yes.
We spend more than 10 minutes, doing that. We spend more than 10 minutes preparing our IG posts, So we do so many things, and you're right. I'm thinking we should say, hashtag 10 minutes, to save your life.
Minutes. Yes, 10 minutes can save your life. Also, another myth that I want to debunk is that the mammogram process has been more streamlined. Our technology is amazing. We have a brand new technology called 3D, which I'm pretty sure you have heard about it. 3D mammography, it offers us to see behind things, in front of things, around things. And the things that I'm talking about is density. So density, I like to tell my patients or reference this type of analogy. It's kind of like you're walking outside and you look up at the sky. If you don't have any density, that's a clear sky. So you have no dense breast. But if you have like partly cloudy, the sun is up there, but you kind of can't see behind those clouds. That's what density is. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing. It's just a composition of what normal breast tissue will present for some people. So therefore, technology has advanced that we can see through those clouds using that analysis to see if there's anything behind those clouds that need, some investigation. So again, we have streamlined that process. We don't have to compress as hard. We have paddles that are gentler. We have just amazing staff that are committed to the cause, that make you feel comfortable. So again, 10 minutes, comfortable exam. We keep it private. We keep it discreet. You also know your results the same day. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Come on now. So
the same day.
Same day at Curtis B. Cooper. What? So
what?
Yes. Our radiologists are so awesome. They will read your mammogram the same day. We have the report in hands. We put it in your chart, and the provider calls the patient and let them know. We also send a really cute little card that says, hey, you did good this year. We'll see you next year, okay? So it's a really nice process. It's not that what you heard back in the day. It's a much better process.
I mean, Shay, getting results the same day, I remember having, waiting, you go to the doctor's office and they say, well, there's something and you need to have that checked. And you're waiting for days, bated breath, pins and needles, for a result. And to be able to get that instantly,
at Curtis B. Cooper, we have a female dedicated breast radiologist who is world renowned. She's amazing. She wrote many textbooks. I am in awe of her. She is our radiologist here at Curtis B. Cooper. And she is there's very few radiologists that are dedicated to breast, and she is one of them in our area. So we're very fortunate to have her on board as our radiologist interpreting our mammograms as well.
Shay, my name is Anthony Murray.
Hey, Anthony.
Hey. Now, apparently, mammograms are for women. Well, what type of exam do you do for a man?
Actually, I see men quite often. There is a a common finding in men that's non-cancerous is called gynecomastia, which is all just basically a large medical term for inflammation. It's usually found behind the nipple. A lot of the men are freaked out about it when they come in because they feel a little something that's different and it hurts.
Mhm.
So I see men all the time and they kind of come in looking like, I'm supposed to have and I know what they're saying. I know what they're saying. So I keep it private and I'm like, yes, come on, follow me. And I let them feel comfortable knowing that this is a good thing. It's a good thing for men to get checked as well.
So what is the exam called for, man?
A mammogram. And we actually have paddles that fit the man anatomy. So
When you said manogram or mammogram?
Mammogram. Yes.
It's the same pronunciation.
Same pronunciation, same process, same everything that a woman experiences. And I think men, when they leave that experience, they appreciate their significant others a lot after experiencing that. And they kind of like, next time I'm going to escort my wife to her mammogram because I understand why she would be nervous going in. Yeah.
I went with my wife one time. I said one time.
Uh-huh.
Just one time. Mm-hmm. But now let me ask you something. What are some of the symptoms that women should look out for, or men?
Okay, there are a lot of symptoms to look out for. The main sign, rather, would be a lump. Okay. And what I tell my patients, not all lumps indicate cancer. Okay. But it is number one on our priority. We kind of go into an emergent or urgency role when we hear lump. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing that you can kind of, be aware of when you do your exams. A lump can come in any shape, any size, any form. It can be hard kind of feeling. It can be soft. But whenever you feel a lump, you call your provider immediately and they will schedule you an exam. Another sign to look forward to is pain. There's a lot of research that's going into that. At first, we were told, pain is nothing to kind of, be worried or concerned about. But if there's an inflammatory process that's affecting the nerves, then yes, it will create some sort of pain. So the pain that I'm talking about is not like a dull ache, but it's more like a sharp shooting pain you up in the middle of the night. One lady who had inflammatory breast cancer, she literally said it felt like a bolt of lightning just shot through her body and she knew something was wrong. Wow. When she told me that was an emergent situation. So pain is another thing. Also discoloration. If you notice bruising or redness or just something that is not right, not the right color, come see us. Dimpling. Okay, that's another concern if I see that in my ladies and men. Dimpling, it occurs when you kind of raise your arm up, and what happens is the anatomy will kind of sink in. So what happens is the breast cancer or the lesion kind of pulls in the tissue around it, and it will create a mass and the dimpling effect. So that pulling is an indicator of something kind of serious going on. So when we see dimpling, that's another indicator. Also lymphoadenopathy, which is swelling underneath the arm, the axilla or armpit area. And lymphoadenopathy is also a concerning aspect, especially if it's warm to touch. Or have a feverish feeling to it, we kind of get concerned about that. Another thing is nipple inversion or retraction. I've had ladies and men come in and they're like, one day my nipple just kind of went in and it never came back out. That's another concern. Last but not least, moles. If they're flat, everybody has moles, but if they start to get raised and crusty and bleeding, that's an indicator there's something going on. Again, swelling. I've had ladies wake up and they're like, I'm twice the size that I've ever been on one side, that's a concern. And also, these are extreme cases, fever, sweating, those are advanced stages. Very rare. I've seen it, but it's very rare. So those are some signs to look for.
All right. Well, thank you so much. You shared such wealth of information just then. But everyone, hold on just for 1 minute as we post our first commercial. Yay!
Right.
Well, all right.
Yay for our commercial.
Yes.
Pretty
So
professional. I'm loving what's happening.
everybody knows that they can advertise with us. But Shay, one of the biggest things is that you have I am getting very impressed with Curtis Cooper. And when I go to my primary care or to my OBGYN, they're always sending me one place. How can I get over to Curtis Cooper to get my exam done?
Well, it's really quite easy. You have to establish a provider with us in our group. And the reason being is our services are not outsourced to the public, so to speak. We are a provider, kind of a doctor's office who have these services. Okay. So even though we are a large corporation, a large medical healthcare facility, we're still, a doctor's office. So we don't have outpatient services set up yet for everyone to come in. So basically, it's a simple process. You just call our appointment number and you schedule an appointment with one of our providers. And once you're in our system, then you can get set up to transfer services over to Curtis V. Cooper for your mammogram. That's really
Well, let me be a little more transparent, because
Okay.
what I'm always thinking is that I can't go to Curtis Cooper because I have insurance, or I have, maybe I'm only looking for people that cannot afford to go to a doctor's office to come to Curtis Cooper. And
right.
so that's the other thing that I wouldn't go, because I don't want to take resources away for somebody that does have insurance to someone that doesn't.
Well, listen, we accept insurance. My father goes here. I go here. My kids go here. And I don't know what else to say. We accept insurance, and we treat you just like everybody else does. It's a really simple, easy process. And the thing that I like about it is so streamlined. Like, everything is in the same building. So you get labs, you get x-rays, ultrasounds, mammography, everything is underneath the same building. So when I found out about that, I just transferred all my services over to Curtis V. Yeah.
I mean, that is absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
That it's kind of a one-stop shop.
It
You're able to
is.
get everything done, and it's so convenient to be able to get everything done in one area. Now, I know Tanya talked about, we always think that if you have insurance and all of this, that you can't. But what about those? What type of services do you all offer for those who are uninsured or underinsured?
Everything. We offer everything. We have a sliding scale, and basically, after you go through the financial process to see what you can and can't afford, you're placed on a very affordable sliding scale. And so it goes from A to F. So if you're a sliding scale A, that's our most valued plan. And I think the mammogram is like $50 out of pocket, if that. And it's for 3D. But here's
And
the
that's for a
thing.
3D? Because
For
that's
3D, yeah.
Yes.
But
Wow.
here's the thing, we have a mammography fund, and due to numerous grants and so many donations, like Savannah's amazing. And they heard about our cause, and basically our mammograms are free due to our mammography fund. So we cover everybody who are underneath that specific plan. So that's it, really. It's really simple. So we see the uninsured, the underinsured, and the insured. And I'm here, my children's here, and like I said, my dad, he gets great service. So we love it.
We're aware.
Yeah, our kids pediatrician is there.
Yeah.
Yes.
The police department is amazing.
Yeah, so we love her.
Oh yeah.
And we love Curtis Cooper and what you guys have been able to do. I see there's a question here. At what age do you recommend? Oh, Flo, that was from you.
Yeah, I was trying to get that in, but
Yeah. Go ahead, Flo.
No, put it up there so everybody see that question, because at what age is recommended to start getting mammograms?
Okay, so age 40 is the baseline. You can get it done earlier. I did at age 35. I just wanted to go ahead and get my baseline done, and that's just because I'm just aware of certain things and seeing certain things. So start at 40 is the great. It's the starting point, but you can go at age 35 if you have issues. Like with me, I have very dense breast tissue, so I really wanted to get that baseline in early at 35. But 40 is the benchmark, age 40.
Okay. And another question is this. We're talking about breast cancer, and of course, you're doing a great job giving us great information.
Thank you.
I know they're loving it. But the different types of breast cancer, because I had a girlfriend that was diagnosed with cancer over 10 years ago. And she had, it was one that just progressively, within 2 weeks, she was gone.
Yes.
And it was something called metastatic
breast cancer. Was she African American?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to talk about that. Breast cancer death rates. Here's a statistic from the American Breast Cancer website, and I just want to quote it correctly. So excuse me for looking off screen. But breast cancer death rates are 40% higher amongst Black women and white women. Okay, and I do see that as well. So let's talk about that with Black women, women of color, and especially my Latino population, which I want to hit on that as well. And that's the main reason why I am here at Curtis V. Cooper. I worked prior to me coming here in a more private clinic. It was it serviced a more higher end clientele, but it wasn't many people of color. I was the only one, to be honest with you, and I was the one administering the exam. Now, they love me, I love my patients, and I don't see color in that regard. But it was bothering me. Where are my women of color? Where are they? And I just kept looking throughout the organization that I was once a part of, and I just didn't see it. And then I discovered Curtis V. Cooper through a friend of mine, and they were like, just come and hear us out, hear our mission. And I also was misinformed about Curtis V. Cooper, okay?
Yeah.
I just, it's a lot of misinformation, and I just want to debunk it and really speak on Curtis V. Cooper and the mission. And I'm very passionate about it. So I went in, had a conversation with the board, with some of the board people, with some of the administrative staff. I met Mr. Grandy, the CEO, and I left out of that. It was a 2-hour conversation. I left out of that completely changed. Okay. And I felt a strong pull to go in this direction. Now, granted, where I came from, I built up a lot of mammo places, and they shared with me the need to help build this up. Okay. And I felt a strong pull. And from day one, I saw my women of color. I saw them and I said, there you are. And I saw my Latino women. I saw my Asian women. I saw all, and I embraced them. Okay. So why do I think this is? It's because women of color, we work a lot. We work a lot. And we carry a lot. We carry our children. We carry our parents. We carry our church, our organization, our sorority. We carry so much, right? That we put ourselves on the back burner. Okay. And then when we do come in for a problem, it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's too late. So at Curtis v. Cooper, we're trying to fill in those gaps. We take walk-in mammograms. Okay. Come in during your lunch break. I don't take my lunch at 12. I purposely take it later on in the day because I know a lot of ladies,
Gotta come.
working ladies, they're like, hey, I got to get in and get this done, and I'm getting them out in 10 minutes, Yes, that's a gap thing. Another thing, cost, healthcare costs so much, y'all. Insurance costs so much. And Curtis v. Cooper, again, we're filling that void. We're raising funds. We're covering the money. Come in, get a free mammogram, 3D mammogram, breast ultrasound. We even cover the cost of a biopsy if you need it. Okay.
That is absolutely amazing.
We are covering costs. We have a partnership with the health department. You can go to any hospital, because we don't do the biopsies here. We're not equipped yet. But we have partnerships with all the hospitals here, through the health department, and it's covered for free. And then once you are diagnosed with breast cancer, you will get state insurance. I mean, you can't beat it. And then you're put up with a surgeon. So that
is absolutely amazing. I have to cut in and say that that's amazing what you all are doing there for our community.
We're doing the work. And also, I feel like Black women, we're just not seen in the traditional medical setting. There's not enough representation. And I'm just going to be real. And so what we're trying to do is say, hey, we see you. We see you. And not only do we see you, we will answer you. You will have answers. Okay.
Going back to Ms. Williams' Washington question, is there any type of free mammograms that Curtis Cooper offers, and whether or not they have insurance or not? Just people sometimes just need to be able to just do that. And,
we do have free mammograms for our uninsured patients. For our insured patients, you do have in your policy will be a free, it will be no cost for screening. Now, when it gets to the diagnostic aspect, if you met your deductible, stuff like that, we will work with you. Okay. Our financial team is amazing. We'll work with you because we realize, cost should not be yet another hurdle to get the help that you need.
And it's amazing that there are so many working women that don't get it done because of our schedules and our time. We take the time for our children, but we don't take the time for ourselves.
Yes.
And if there's something that we can do about that, you have done it by being available at lunchtime.
Yes.
But it's still everybody needs to know that you're available at lunchtime. There's a walk-in.
We're available at lunchtime and on Saturday mornings. Okay.
Yes.
Even Saturday mornings.
Come on in Saturday morning, get your mammogram, get out. You know, get your nails done afterwards.
Because we're going to get our nails done on Saturday.
Yeah. So, you know, and I try to keep it upbeat. You know, I don't want my ladies to feel weighed down, because I feel like a lot of us, as women in color in particular, you know, we carry a lot. So we try to keep it positive, try to keep it informative, you know, put you first, because if you're first, then you can take care of the people in your life, and you can be around for a long time for those in your life.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
We need to put a van right outside a sorority meeting and say, okay, for everybody that didn't do it this year, okay, yes. So we went to the Deltas, we go to the AKAs, we go to the Neighbors, we go to, and then we find all of the women organizations, and we go there and we put a bus there. Okay, come on and get this done, because those are the busiest, interactive, community-based women out there, right?
Yes.
I bet you half of the sorority have not done it. And COVID slowed people down from doing stuff too. So just think about the 2 years that we didn't go out.
Yes. I would like to speak on that. Our positivity rate has increased. It has tripled since COVID, since 2020. Why? Because a lot of people did not get their mammogram after 2020. So they're coming in now like with a gap year. Yeah. And guess what? There's a lesion, there's something in their breast that turned out to be cancerous. So our positivity rate this year has been tripled, and it's not even the end of the year yet. But the good news is we are catching it early. So once again, like I said in the beginning, just because it was a diagnosis doesn't mean the prognosis or the after the diagnosis is a bad thing. Like you do have a high quality of life.
Yeah. And you know something, what I'm going to start doing, Renetta, you said something about making sure that everybody knows, and Tanya, you know, touching it, but we got to get it out there. What I'm going to start doing is, we always, you know, saying happy birthday, happy anniversary, Merry Christmas, whatever holiday comes around. I'm going to start including in my greetings, happy birthday. Have you had your mammogram yet? Happy anniversary. Have your wife had her mammogram yet? Yeah. Merry Christmas, because it's close to the end of the year. Still remind them, have you had your mammogram yet? And just put that in all of my my greetings from now on every holiday, whatever comes about. That way, it's a reminder on me, and also gives a reminder on my friends and family. Have you had your mammogram yet? And I can put in there, hey, you get a free mammogram at Curtis Cooper.
Yes. Yes.
So it has to, you know, my husband would not go to the hospital. I mean, would not get his annual checkups. I think when I met him, he was 43, 44. Never went to the hospital. I mean, never went to the doctor to get treatments or whatever. I had to keep reminding him every year. For 10 years of our first marriage, first 10 years, he would not go. Finally, he went and started getting his annual checkups. And he had his first colonoscopy. And guess what? 12 polyps. That's the size of, you know, the doctor was just scared. When the doctor, you know, had to schedule for that removal of those polyps, he was scared. The doctor was scared because they had to send it off, and was praying that, I was praying that it wasn't, you know, and he was lucky. No cancer. And now, you know, he's doing well. But we have to remind each other.
Yes. Yes, we do.
You know, to go get our physicals, to the doctor, have our mammograms. And I'm just going to say, when you see a birthday from me, happy birthday, Tanya. Have you had your mammogram?
And I'm going to say, no, I did not.
Cooper does it free.
And when I said it out loud just a few minutes ago, 2 years we were down because of COVID.
Yeah.
And this is now 2022. And so I'm going to go back and look and see, when did I have my last mammogram? Because when I just said it, I was like, when did I do it? You know, did I do it last year when everything kind of came back? But in 2021, no, I have. This is 2022. I have not in 2022. And so that is definitely going to be something that I'm going to take care of. And I'm a terrible person that even does self exams.
Yeah.
You know, someone said this crazy thing to me. Well, like if you breastfed, you don't need to worry about it. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. That sounds crazy. But you know, that it squeaks in the back of my head. But I don't think about it sometimes. You know what I mean? This is the month that I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the month. April is another month that I think about it. I think they have uh, Susan Coleman's race. I think about it.
Yeah.
But I don't. I mean, and it's terrible. And I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at a mirror right now, like you are crazy, girl, because this can happen to you. You know.
Right.
And,
hey Shay, Tanya said something that was very interesting. Tanya said something about someone saying, you know, if for those who breastfed, they don't have to worry about it. I wonder how many other crazy seeds are planted like that in the minds of people to convince them, oh, you don't have to have a mammogram done because you did this. Or like for people who are, Tanya's vegetarian. Well, vegetarians consider themselves to be some of the healthiest people.
Right.
All right. But still, yet, mammograms should be for everybody. And talk about that a little bit and talk about your hours and how many locations you have.
Okay, so our hours Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5. On Friday, it's from 8 to 2 p.m. On Saturday, from 8 to 12. Those are our hours. And I've heard some crazy things. I've heard ladies like, oh, well, I heard the mammogram will cause breast cancer. No, it doesn't. We use very little radiation. Matter of fact, you get more radiation using your cell phone as opposed to getting a mammogram. I've heard just all kind of myths. And just to set the record straight, again, like I said in the beginning, just 10 minutes will save your life. It's just a 10-minute exam. It's more comfortable now. The technology has definitely improved. And
locations, how many locations?
Locations, we are everywhere. Our mammogram unit is located downtown off of East Broad Street and President Street, which is just a beautiful location. I love it here. We also have a Garden City location. We have a Yamacraw location. We are also located at Savannah State University, and we have a Pembroke location.
Now, I'm close to the Garden City. Where in Garden City are you?
We are on, I believe it's called Rogers Street. Rogers Street.
Augusta Road, and then turn on Rogers Street.
There you go. We're right.
Okay. So, and then talk about everything you've mentioned up to this point. What about physical examinations?
Yes.
We're going to take a break. Hold on one moment.
After this break.
Okay.
After the break.
All right, we're back. Okay, awesome.
That's perfect.
Okay, so where did we leave off?
About these exams.
That's right. Go ahead, Shay.
Okay, so you want to talk about the self breast exams,
Hey,
right?
no, I'm not. I'm a man. So, well,
Oh, men can do that too.
what about
You
men
gotta
for
check yourself.
exam,
We still
breast
need to talk
exam?
about it,
I
Anthony.
We
mean,
don't discriminate.
what are we looking for?
Okay, what you looking for? Okay, I recommend, or it's recommended by the American Cancer Society. It's basically to check yourself once a month. So what I like to tell my ladies is take your birthday. Like for instance, I was born May the 12th, right? So take the 12th in my case of each month and just check yourself. Just check yourself. You want to do 3 fingers. You want to start at the top and just kind of go around, around and around, and then you want to take your other 3 fingers, bring your arm up and kind of go under, under, and then you want to kind of lift your breast up and go underneath as well. That's all it takes. Do it in the shower. What are you looking for? Lumps, anything that's just strange to you. And every patient that has discovered their own breast lump, they know that something is wrong. And you'll know it if you feel it. I pray nobody does, but if you ever feel it, then you'll know. You'll know. Mm-hmm.
So, do you find that more people, especially
Hold on one
women,
second,
don't?
Anthony, hold on one second. It looks like
Dr. Elin.
Elin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on.
is
Y'all
able
can
to join us.
continue.
Can you
Hey,
hear us,
Dr. Elin.
Hello, everyone. Y'all can continue. I'm gonna try to stay on as long as I can.
Okay.
All right. Do you find more people not getting these exams because they're afraid of what they will find?
Actually, I'm seeing the opposite.
Okay.
I think the this culture here that's coming up, we're well informed because of platforms like this. You guys are putting out the information, right? This is the digital age. And I really feel like information is coming out, the right information. And I think people are afraid and they're like, let me go check myself and make sure I'm okay. So I'm seeing the opposite, which is great. I'm seeing a lot of first baseliners coming in for their mammograms because they had concerns.
That is that's awesome that we're trending in the other direction. I wanted to take a quick moment. This month is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Dr. Elin is so busy, running things over there at Curtis V. Cooper. So whenever she's able to pop in and have conversation, we just want to cut to her so that we can talk a little bit about domestic violence. Dr. Elin, please come on in. Let's talk about it. We know that, what is domestic violence? Let's talk about that. And, we can throw some statistics out there, but just share with us some information about domestic violence and kind of, what we need to know, what we need to look out for. Share your experience.
Well, good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Well, domestic violence, it doesn't have a face. It doesn't have a race or social economic status or educational. I was a victim of domestic violence in college. And the thing about domestic violence, a lot of time it's the person that is the aggressor a lot of time have anger management issues. They have a strong will to be the controller. Domestic violence is not always physical. It can be physical as well as verbal. And you go through what's called the honeymoon stage. And in the honeymoon stage, the aggressor physically violates you or they verbally violate you. And then they apologize and say how it'll never happen again. And then they begin to flood you with gifts. But the cycle goes on and on and on. And most of the time, the victim will not share their story. People who are close in their circle will be unaware. A lot of times the aggressor will keep them isolated from family, from those that are close to them, so that they won't be able to share their story and get out. I often, when I'm led to, tell young people there is no good thing that will come from it. If you're in it, you need to get out and get the counseling that it takes to get out. And when you're out, you need to stay out.
Now, Dr. Elin, you're talking about young people, and I've found a lot of times in listening to young people, and they say that it's just so commonplace. And they make excuses saying, well, he really didn't mean to do it. People feel like they've done something themselves to bring it on. If I hadn't done this, and if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't asked him something as soon as he got home from work, and they feel they take on the guilt of that.
And that is so true. That's a good comment they do, and they make you feel like it was something that you did to bring it on. Oftentimes they're really jealous. They're real jealous. They're very jealous to the point where if you're out in the public and the opposite sex even look at you, it's your fault why that person looked at you, and they always take it to be something that you invited, and a lot of times that brings on the aggression. But you have to know, and you have to have enough confidence in yourself to know that it's nothing you did. I stayed in that situation a little under a year, and it was because I wasn't a female with low self-esteem. So I was able to get out, but everybody's not able to get out. And my aggressor was an aggressor to the point where if I couldn't have you, nobody else can have you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So it's not a good place to be in, and it's definitely, I didn't have any children, but it's definitely not a place for children. And I learned later, because I was still close to his family, but his dad was also abusive to his mom. So it's what he saw growing up. So it was the norm for him.
Yeah, and that, and you're talking about children, when children also are exposed to episodes of domestic violence, not toward themselves, but when they are witness to domestic violence in their homes. I can't imagine how that is carried, and I must say it definitely is something that is carried throughout the rest of their lives. And I don't think that the aggressor or the victims, they don't realize the effect that this also has on, children who are raised in that type of environment. But what do you advise? I mean, do you all have services at Curtis Cooper to help those women, help those men, help those people who have experienced it or who have witnessed it as children, to be able to cope with what they're doing and get the help that they need to be able to move forward in their lives?
We do. We have a whole behavior health department where we have a psychiatrist as well as LCSWs and MLSWs who can provide the counseling piece to those children as well as to the mother. We also partner with Safe Shelter. We're able to get that mom into Safe Shelter along with those children if they need to get out of the situation, like immediately. If they're at harm and they need to be out of that home, then we also partner with Safe Shelter. We can get them into Safe Shelter as well.
It's not just the women though that are being abused. It's also men being abused, and yeah. Now I've seen it firsthand with my mother being abused, and I lived that, and it's a horrible It's a horrible thing for people to go through, you know. So men, unfortunately, when men are abused, they don't step up because it's against their manhood, so to speak. You know, for a man to come forward and say, "Hey, I'm being psychologically or physically abused by my wife," you know. But I saw it the other way, where my mother was abused, and just because your parent was abused doesn't mean you have to be abusive, you know. And when men and women deal with that, they really need to take a step forward and get that help, because it does transfer to the children unless there's some type of intervention before that child becomes abusive. If there's no intervention, then it's inevitable that that child would have some type of abusive life, if not against their significant other, against their children, or against somebody else, you know. So I've seen it firsthand. Hey, great show, folks. It's time to wrap it up. My name is Anthony Murray. I'm with Rankin Financial Center, World Financial Group, Rankin Financial Center, and I'm going to turn it back over to Tanya. So Tanya and ladies, I want to thank you so much, man. Shay, I learned I'm going to get a mammogram. I'm going to call it a manogram. A manogram. All right. And you know what? You inspired me. I need to get a physical every year. I'm in my 60s, and I don't remember the last time I had one. You know, it's been a couple of years, so I want to thank you. All right, ladies, it's on you.
Flo.
Hey guys, this was awesome. Two great, I'm telling you, absolutely fantastic speakers today. Thank y'all for sharing that great information, because I'm pretty sure all this out there really got a good information from here. So this is Mad Flo, not crazy, but I am mad about making a difference for life and others through financial literacy. And this is all things relevant. We were so happy to have you here. Make sure you guys return back next Friday. And guess what? We may have a surprise for you. All four of us may be here again next Friday. It's been a minute. So Tanya,
thank you.
Anthony.
Yes. So this is Renetta Gardner saying, make it a great day. I want to thank my always partner, Dr. Carolyn Elin. We also want to thank Shay Smith, and we thank Curtis V. Cooper for all that you do in our community and for the continued value that you add to our community. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Signing out. You all have a great week. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for coming.
like this.